Thank you for joining us on 24 Plus. I am ABC 24 anchor Pepper Baker. Shelby County primaries are May 5th. Early voting is April 15th, and we are highlighting key races to help you make an informed decision at the polls. Now, the Shelby County Clerk's office is looking very competitive on the Democratic side. So for our third interview for this Meet the Candidate series, we have Dr. Sonya Hall in the studio. Dr. Hall, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Pepper, for inviting me to join this wonderful discussion.
Of course, I'm excited for it. All right, so first question right off the top, why are you running for Shelby County Clerk?
So thank you for that question. I am running because our citizens in Shelby County have grown disappointed, frustrated, and quite honestly distrustful of government at this point. We are seeing long lines in their efforts to get their tags. We're seeing upwards of 7 months for people to get their titles transferred on their cars. We're just seeing poor customer service. We're experiencing in our local and small businesses just a disenchantment with how we are running the county clerk. I know that I'm qualified, most qualified to bring the services and the execution to improve this operation. And so I am running to make sure that our citizens understand that there are good, solid leaders in the community who have proven experience to make changes in our government.
Yeah, and you started out with some specifics on the issues there, so that's always good to get right to it. So you are a seasoned employee within the city and the county.
Yes.
You've had, decades of experience, but for people who may not be familiar with you, I love when candidates give a little bit of their background.
Absolutely. So quickly, I am a proud graduate of Jackson State University. I received my master's in public administration from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and my doctorate degree from the University of Mississippi. I've been married to my husband for over 30 years, who's also worked here in the community in the field of education. We have two beautiful daughters who have been educated in the school system, and they are now grown and on their own, doing their own thing. And I currently serve Shelby County now as the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for the entire county. And that means that I manage with a team of wonderful experts the $1.6 billion budget for the entire county. And I want to stress that I don't manage just a department or one division or even one elected office. We manage the entire budget. We manage the HR portfolio for over 5,000 employees, the pension system for over 4,000 retirees and future retirees, and the healthcare plan for at least 9,000 employees and their families. So I bring a wealth of experience as a political appointee at the senior level of government, having worked through the trenches, up the ranks, and now enjoy a wonderful experience, blessed by several mayors to continue this work, but then relationships across the county and the state. So I bring the most experience and the best of relationships to this position.
Okay, and relationships is an important note here because you currently work within the county mayor's office.
Absolutely.
So how would you describe the mayor's office relationship with the county clerk right now?
So I look at how we're going to move forward, and where I really try to educate citizens is that according to our charter, the county's charter, the mayor's office, the assessor, the sheriff, the trustee, and the county clerk are all chartered officers. So they are in effect independent of one another. One can't tell the other one what to do. So the relationship currently is one that is moving the county ahead, but there have honestly been some dings and some little friction there, and those are things that I want to fix. As an executive, a policy wonk, as a person who understands how to really build relationships, I am fortunate that I have relationships with all of the commissioners, with the sheriff, with the assessor, with the trustee, and quite honestly with the current county clerk. So I don't see this as an inhibiting factor for me and my candidacy. I actually see it as an opportunity to grow and to reassure citizens that we all can get along and work together.
So you are confident you can kind of smooth things
Absolutely,
out?
Absolutely. My relationships extend beyond just the just the elected officials, but we have worked, in fact, I worked with the county clerk to get the Millington lease employees secured. So she and I've worked with her when she was a city council member. So we have a working relationship in which it's collegial and very professional. And that's where we want to land always, is to maintain professionalism in all of our communications and relationships.
I am excited to unpack a little bit more of the specifics, because the lease with the Millington office was on the list. But first, sometimes I think people, when they're running for office, sometimes voters aren't exactly, don't really know exactly what each position is responsible for.
Absolutely.
So let's just take it down to like a simple level here. What is the county clerk's responsibility?
Thank you for that question. So the county clerk's office, in my opinion, is one of the most public-facing entities in county government. It manages and issues the license plates, the stickers for license, transfer titles, title transfers rather, but also your business licenses and marriage licenses. And for those of us who need notaries of public, it also manages those entities as well. So it's extremely public facing, and it requires an expert who understands the value of customer service and good customer service.
Okay, yeah, that's a great answer. So what challenges is the current county clerk's office facing right now, or the biggest ones that you feel would be your utmost priority to fix?
So challenges lie in efficiency, transparency, and accountability. The very first challenge that we have under efficiency is customer service. I have traveled all over this county, and that is the #1 complaint that I get, that the customer service delivery, they're having to wait in long lines, and then when they get to the counter, they're not treated with respect. Citizens want to feel the value of their time. If they're spending 2-3 hours in a line, they want to feel that when they finally get to the counter, at least there's someone who's empathetic to what they've been through. I every morning pass by the Whitehaven satellite site, and I watch the lines, and I see people arriving as early as 6 o'clock in the morning with chairs because they fully anticipate no seats. They're sitting in the lines, in the elements, in the ice cold, in the heat, in the rain, waiting to get served. So I offer to Shelby County citizens a Chick-fil-A level of customer service. I contend that when you go to Chick-fil-A, whatever you're going to buy, the treatment there is that you are valued. They appreciate your business. So we want to make sure that we usher in a new level of customer service, a Chick-fil-A customer service. And I am even determined to bring in customer service representatives to actually provide professional development and training to employees, because they have to feel respected and heard as they're doing the job. So secondly, we want to make sure that we create innovation and efficiency in our operations, and that means utilizing technology. It's no secret that the county clerk's office right now is operating in a very outdated technological system, Windows 7. The rest of the county, and that speaks to the relationships that you mentioned earlier, the rest of the county is on Windows 11 or higher. So the second thing that we absolutely have to do is to shore up our technology for our citizens and for our employees. And that's something that I'm doing currently as the Deputy CAO. We are upgrading our entire accounting and HR systems countywide with an Oracle Fusion platform. So our IT folks are out there saying, oh my God, Windows 7, because it is obsolete and it puts the county, all of the county, at risk. And then third, from an accountability lens, we know that stories have been mentioned about not being accountable, not being present. I have experience in changing, fixing broken systems, and in so doing, I lend that expertise, particularly as it relates to our county's funding. So every tag that you purchase, every sticker that you purchase, every license that you purchase, that money has to be accounted for. You want to make sure that it's going into the proper buckets. And so we need to make sure that we have proper CPAs and accountants and people specializing in auditing to make sure that whatever revenue is being collected by the Shelby County Clerk's office, that funding is also being reported properly to the trustee, to the mayor's finance office. And there again lies the importance of having solid relationships with elected officials.
Certainly helps. Can't
yes,
hurt.
It does.
Now, as far as the Windows 7 point here,
yes,
and then you mentioned that all of the other county offices are at
absolutely
Windows 10, 11, or 11.
Yeah.
Why was the county clerk's office, or is the county clerk's office not updated like the rest of the county?
So it goes back to the underpinning of of the independence of the county clerk's office. So in the charter, each of those entities are independent in the managing of their operations. And a lot of our citizens miss that point when they see on the news this bickering between the two. And even as a deputy chief administrative officer, I will get calls requesting that the mayor make the county clerk do differently or vice versa. That simply is not the case by the charter. They are their own independent bosses reporting to the taxpayers and the taxpayers alone. So when it's time to upgrade the systems, the county clerk has to give the authoritative green light to do that. And that simply has not happened.
Okay. So a large part of your current responsibilities is overseeing the budget for the county.
Yes.
$1 billion or over
$1.6 billion.
$1.6 billion, so nearly $2 billion.
Yes,
Excuse
absolutely.
me. So what can you speak to as far as what your priorities will cost? Like how much will it take to make an efficient county clerk's office, and is it even in the budget
Right.
that the county clerk's office has?
Absolutely. So thank you for that question. So what I know can tell you, being a part of the budget process, is that the budget currently for the county clerk's office is $8 million. That covers a complement of about 100 employees. So we have within our budget portfolio what's called capital improvement budgets. That's in addition to the $1.6 million. That's solely for large projects, building. You talk about the sheriff, the jails, you talk about schools. Those are capital improvement projects. And so IT falls within that as well. So because I know the process, I know the approval chains, have worked those chains, I will be looking at ways to work with our IT steering committee, which is a county-wide committee, to identify and make sure that we can approve the CIP budgets that will allow for those kinds of investments. So, for example, Pepper, our ERP system that we are implementing right now for the entire county cost us about $15 million, and we were fortunate to be able to make that case before the commission to get that amount of money approved. Okay. So I already know that process. I don't have to learn it. I don't have to figure out which way to do it. I already know the players. So we will be coming with the appropriate budget amendments in FY27 to ask for the appropriate, and that's only after a thorough RFP process, a vetting of what the technology needs are, and then bringing that before the commission.
Okay, wow. Okay, so that feels like a very, concrete plan.
Absolutely.
And a way to go around it,
Yes.
and your relationships
Yes.
already seemingly
Yes.
so. So, you mentioned what people have told you about their experience at the
Yes.
county clerk's office. So, what does an efficiently run, successfully run county clerk's office look like under your leadership?
Well, first of all, we're going to have a performance data metrics dashboard. I think that citizens want to see their government operating smoothly for them. So day one, we want to roll out a performance metrics dashboard that says right now, day one, it takes you 2 hours to get from your car into the clerk's office and back to your car. It takes you 3 months, and we'll just use in hypotheticals, to get your title transferred. It takes businesses whatever the amount of time. We want to put that dashboard up, and we want to then hold ourselves accountable, and accountability starts here, not at the employee level, but here. And we want to show that over time, I'm Lean Six Sigma trained, I'm certified as a county official, I train across the state of Tennessee, elected officials on how to manage customer service. So we will be applying Lean Six Sigma tools to make sure that we are assessing the operation, and where there are pain points, we will then be making the appropriate changes. And then I believe in continuous improvement. So even when you make the changes, you come back, you assess whether or not the changes are effective. So that is the very first thing you'll see, is an accountability measure. Then we're going to implement technology and customer service resets in the office, so that when people come, they see that they're valued. Our senior citizens, our disabled, our veterans, they come in and they will know that there's a change. They will know that they are respected, that they're going to be treated with dignity, and we value their time. And for our working families, we're going to make sure that we have extended hours. We're going to offer Saturday openings. When I've traveled at Whitehaven, the satellite site, I see people in their uniforms trying to get to work. And then they're there 6 o'clock trying to get in the doors by 8 o'clock, only to be told that the kiosk isn't working or that the credit card machine is not working. So making sure that we are, again, applying the right tools, Lean Six Sigma, continuous improvement. These are things that I've cut my teeth on as the health department director, as the workforce development director, as the public works director, as parks and neighborhoods director. That's why, Pepper, I say I am qualified because I've been baptized by fire and worked in the trenches and figured it out and turned these organizations around.
Okay. Yeah, very convicted there. Yeah. Now, I know that you've sat pretty much in a front row seat to some of the issues that,
yes.
And I've only been here 3 years, but I'll say that the county clerk's office was in the news more often than I expected.
Yes.
I learned more about it because of that
Absolutely.
fact. And so, everything from the wheel tax collection and where that was to the county clerk having to face potential ousting hearings, and then even with the Millington lease. So, you are the deputy chief administrative officer of the county mayor. And so how did those problems come about? And I guess I want to ask how you, I guess I'm just wanting to know how you are so high level in the county and those problems continuously happen.
Absolutely. And that is a great question because a lot of citizens struggle with that. And it goes back to the charter. Okay. So the charter dictates the authority. So let's just take the Millington lease. That's an easy one. So there's a contract. The mayor is the sole contracting authority for the entire Shelby County. So even if Sheriff Bonner wanted to go and lease a property, he can go and make the arrangements. He can go and look at the property. He can go and say, this is what I want or I don't want it. But when it's time for the contract to be negotiated, executed, the final say rolls back to the sole contracting authority, which is the mayor. But the sheriff still has independent authority as a charter officer to make decisions for his operation. Okay. So is it for the Millington lease, where there was a contract that was approved by the commission and it was signed by the sole contracting authority, i.e. the mayor. But then the payment, so then the invoice for that payment came through and it had to be paid for administratively by the county clerk. That money was in her budget. So it comes down to understanding the roles of our elected officials. And we have to, as county government leaders, have to do a better job of explaining that. Gotcha. So the mayor is the sole contracting authority, but the operation and the supervision and the green lights that have to take place administratively are under the authority of the county clerk. And so that's where people really, it really is a struggle for people to get it. They're like, the mayor should tell her what to do, or the mayor should leave her alone. But that's not how our charter, the county's charter, is developed.
Okay, so it sounds like you will stay on top of these things so that they don't kind of go in these gray areas. Who's responsible for what. Yes. Okay, that's fair. So we talked about relationships, and that's a big deal. Yes. And I asked you this before, but just kind of reiterating again how you will work to improve the county clerk's relationship and standing with the county.
Well, the best way to do that is to rely on my previous history. I already have relationships, and solid relationships, good, positive relationships with every elected official in the county, in the city, all municipal mayors, all of our 7 municipal mayors, with 95 county mayors. So there is not a question of whether or not I'll be able to fortify those relationships or build those relationships. I actually work with all of those elected officials now. The trustee and the county clerk have to work together. Right. The county clerk collects revenue, but the trustee is the county's banker. So the trustee has to sweep those funds because that is the job of the trustee. And then the county clerk has to work with all 13 commissioners because they are the legislative purse for the county. The mayor is truly a relationship builder, massaging the relationship so that we can put together the budget. But ultimately, the county clerk has to work with everyone, and not only with just our local leaders, but with with our comptroller and with our state officials. And those are areas that I am already seasoned, poised, and trained, ready to go. I know the comptroller, I know our state officials, and have solid relationships with them. So it's not a question of how, it's just a matter of putting it all together.
Yes, and your relationships are deep because you've worked under Harrington,
yes.
Myron Lowry, Mayor
Yes.
Wharton, so there's no arguing that at all. So I want to ask too, staffing.
Yes.
And I know that was a kind of common problem that seemed to keep coming up in the reports about the clerk's office is getting adequate staffing.
Yes.
So is that still an issue now, and how would you work to get those
It absolutely is still an issue. And I'm going to lean on this Whitehaven experience because that's where I've been really monitoring every morning. So I mentioned the citizens are lined up at 6 o'clock because they want to get in the door at 8 o'clock so they can get to work or get to their families or get to their dialysis appointment. And then at 8 o'clock, they're told, oh, well, the systems are down, et cetera, et cetera. So from a Lean Six Sigma lens, if you're looking at an operation and you look at 100 people are already in line at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, and you look at 2 staff members in the bays, well, common sense would tell you that we are already 2 to 3 hours behind.
Right.
And so the Lean Six Sigma, and I'm leaning on that because a lot of folks who do process management, who do organizational change, which is my gift and which is my skill set, you look at that and you'll say, okay, well, how do we address the bottlenecking? Well, one is, can you triage the line? Can you say, okay, the kiosks have to be working? Maybe there's more than one kiosk in the facility. Maybe our credit card companies or our credit card machines are checked the night before to ensure that they're working. How about we put kiosks in Kroger's and Cash Savers so that citizens who just need a simple sticker don't even have to come to those sites? And that money for our kiosk and for some of the technological advances is covered within the data processing fees, which all clerks, many of the clerks collect. And the clerk has the authority to say, well, I want to spend the money for it. So the money is there. It's just not being used to ensure that we create better opportunities and services for our citizens. And then opening up access back at the Germantown Poplar site. Germantown and Poplar Highland site, so that citizens don't have to trek all the way downtown. And another thing that I know happens for citizens is cross-training. So I've heard that citizens will go downtown to get a service only to be told that it's only available at the Mullen Station. Or they get downtown and they say, well, you don't have the proper papers. We just need to do a better job as government leaders, educating, explaining, and make sure that we're communicating with citizens so that we are servicing them and not punishing them for being good citizens to get their tags.
Right. So let's get the timeline. You mentioned customer service,
absolutely,
software updates,
absolutely,
and kind of this definitely getting those lines down. So
yes.
What's the first 100 days under your leadership look like, and then what's the long-term goals?
So I'm already working on 100 days because I'm the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer. So we're already looking at ways to ensure that the technology is in place the first 100 days. I already work with the IT team for the county. I work and have a solid relationship with the Chief Information Officer. So the first 100 days is really turning on and upgrading our systems so that the process works better. Bringing in representatives from Chick-fil-A or the private sector because our auto dealers and our fleet businesses are also being impacted by this. So bringing in the private sector to do professional training for our employees and just looking at then a Lean Six Sigma transformation. I want to win. I want to have this thing running so well that we win the Tennessee Center for Performance Excellence. I want to show citizens that government truly can work for the people. And so the 100 days is, customer service, it's technology, it's that agent dashboard going up immediately. And then I want it to work so well that it's on autopilot that, to your point, Pepper, people no longer hear stories about the Shelby County Clerk's office. I travel across the state representing the county on a number of occasions, and when I say I'm from Shelby County, I do get that question more times than not. And so I want to, within a 6 to 9 month period, transform it such that it's no longer a featured story on Channel 24 unless it's positive.
Right.
I want you to report back and say, dang, Dr. Hall was not kidding. She really meant what she said in that earlier interview. I compare the county clerk to a broken bone. When you have a broken bone, you don't seek anybody to fix your broken bone. You're looking for somebody that knows what they're doing, somebody that's trained and understands orthopedics.
Yeah.
So is it for our county clerk's office. You don't need just anybody, just because they're passionate, just because they want to do good things. You need an appropriate, trained, seasoned executive who understands people management. Our operations now are multi-generational. We have baby boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, and now Gen Zers all in the same office.
Right.
So you can't just dictate, hey, get the job done and it's going to do that. You actually have to understand how to advance the knowledge, set expectations, and get people to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you do mention this Lean Six Sigma
Yes,
certification.
girl, I love it.
You are certified.
Yes,
Lean Six
yes.
And I know you said it earlier, but one more time, since you mentioned it numerous
Yes.
times now, what is that?
So Lean Six Sigma is a model used in the private industry, and it's been adapted into government that really looks at how do you eliminate waste, and not just waste like wasteful spending, but how do you eliminate broken systems, how do you fix problems from A to Z. So you start by looking at, again, from the time the citizen gets out of the car to the time the citizen gets back to the car. You examine the entire thread and you analyze where are you seeing the bottlenecks. So for example, people standing in line 100 or so deep at 6 o'clock in the morning. So what can we do at 8 o'clock, or what can we do the night before to ensure that those 100 people are, is there a way to bring tablets? Can they go ahead, or can you come out and say, hey, you don't even need to come down here because we have kiosks at Kroger's or we have kiosks at Cash Savers.
Right.
So Lean Six Sigma is just a model that I've been groomed on, trained on, and we've implemented it with our mass vaccination site when Mayor Harris asked me to run the Shelby County Health Department and run the mass vaccination site during a global pandemic.
Right.
We use Lean Six Sigma, and our site was one of the best run sites. I would walk from Feronia to Raines all the way around to the Southwest Tennessee Community College, and we would time how long did it take a car. We'd put stickers on dashboards, and hopefully citizens remember that. We would put stickers like it's 11 o'clock. How long did that person that got in line at 11 o'clock got there? How long did it take to administer a shot? How long did it take for you to get the observation after you you got your shot? So Lean Six Sigma is just a really good business tool that can be applied to government processes that make us more efficient.
Yeah, you're not just saying we're going to make the line shorter. You're actually going to track every single moment of every day and get it down to data, like a science of what is happening.
Data is something that we absolutely have to use because you can't refute it. When you can say, oh no, when we started it was 2 hours in line, but now we've gotten it down to 30 minutes. Well, citizens feel like you really are listening to their needs.
Got you.
Yeah.
Wow. Two lasting questions here because we're running into time a little bit. How is fundraising going?
It's going really well. I'm proud to say that for our first campaign report, I was the top fundraiser. And Pepper, I'm telling you, I am grinding. I am experiencing support from business community, from the faith-based community, and I've reached out to friends across the country who believe in what I am doing and what I have done. So I'm really proud of that, and we are literally sharing our story with so many citizens, and they believe in what we need and what we can do under my leadership.
Okay, wow. A dollar amount you can say?
Oh, well, it's public information, so they can go and look it up. Yeah. And then I've gotten endorsements from Dr. Michael and Easter Thomas, State Senator Ramesh Agberry, Dr. Carl Shields, who is the former president of the Baptist Ministerial Alliance, Dr. Chris Davis, and Pastor Bill Atkins. So I'm really excited about the support that's it's a groundswell. It's starting to really get
those
excited.
relationships are certainly coming
Absolutely,
in key here.
absolutely.
Last question here, or two really. What sets you apart? In the whole interview, you've really spoken to what sets you apart from your competitors, but just giving it to the voters of why you have an advantage over the others in the race.
There is no candidate that truly has been baptized by fire in a variety of departments. There is no candidate running that has executive level experience that understands the entire county budget and how it all is managed and how the sausage is made. There is no candidate that has people management skills at all levels of government. There is no candidate that truly has worked in the trenches, understanding the nuances of each facet of the job. There is no candidate that has the relationships as broad as mine, not just here in Shelby County, but across the state and at the federal level. There is no candidate that really understands how the mechanics of applying business to government processes can work. There is no candidate that has a following of both city and county employees as well as retirees who can speak to my integrity, my determination, and my ability to follow ethics, law, and policy.
That's quite a list there. I like that. All right. And why should people trust you with their vote?
I am passionate about this work. I am a true public servant. I am God-fearing. There is no controversy around my name. You can Google me. There is none. That's because I believe in my faith. I believe in my family. And I believe that God allows us to be public servants for a reason. And I am passionate. I love this city. I love this county. My husband and I chose to move here. We chose to raise our children here. And we love it. It's been good to us. And I just believe it's time for me to give back to the community in a way that really creates positive change that people can see and feel and experience.
Okay, well said, Dr. Hall.
Yes,
thank you so much. We're running into time here, so I really appreciate that you came into the studio, and hopefully our viewers who are voters feel a little bit more informed about who you are running for county clerk. Thank you for watching, and be sure to catch all of our candidate profiles on the 24 Plus app. You can also find them on abc24.com. We're going to continue all of these interviews to keep you informed, and don't forget, Shelby County primaries are May 5th. Thank you for watching.